Alright, y'all. I wanted to report on this facility here. You know, do you see these spikes? You see those spikes? That's to tear your flesh open if you try to get in there. It's in some ways it's more effective than razor tape and barbed wire because, Constantine wire, barbed wire, I'll call it barbed wire because it's barbed. That can be cut with a nice pair of clippers, metal clippers. But here we've got these, which, yeah. So this is the Department of Public Safety state stormtroopers. And these are all the vehicles that they have that are broke down. I hope y'all can hear this audio. Let me know if there's any problems with audio. So there's, you know, hundreds of vehicles here that are broke down that your money's going to be fixing. Had a little time here. I wanted to investigate, do a little investigative journalism on what kind of property DPS has, where our money goes, because they get I forget how many billions of dollars the state stormtroopers have in annual budget, but this is state trooper. There goes state troopers. There's one right here, unmarked vehicle. State troopers. There's another one. Hall Jane Mary 2196. So there's literally hundreds and hundreds of vehicles. There's a couple hundred that are broke down. There's another 100 or more over here that I don't know if they're broke down or maybe they're broke down. We got the fleet operations over there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh, you can hear me? Good, good. I can't see the name, but that's good. But yeah, there's the fleet operations right there. Department of Public Safety. We got Texas Forest Service here for some reason. Why is the Forest Service here? We don't have any forest here. I don't know. But we're here for the people, see what's going down. Why don't you look at all these vehicles that they've got here? They got literally hundreds of vehicles. You see them all? You see the, what do you call this? It probably has a fancy name. Spikies. Two of us, we've got a big hole. Got a water main. Doesn't have to be a main. Water valve. I'm glad y'all can hear me. I've got an external boom mic right now. I don't know how that sounded on it, but I turned my wind thing. And so look at this stormtrooper vehicle. Look at it. The whole back's gone. You see that? What's that even about? So all these vehicles, even a crane truck, boom, what's it? Personal lift. What you call it? But look at all these vehicles, y'all. Hundreds and hundreds of vehicles. You see that shit? Hundreds and hundreds of vehicles. Over here, another 100. Across the street, another 100. They're all around this vehicle. This is more of a yard. See, it's secured with the lock and an intercom. Only access is done through either having a key or what you have. Joshua, it looks like. Okay. So yeah, look, there's an Expedition. There's a GMC. There's your Expedition. Here's some more Chevys, Dodge. There's another white Expedition. There's a bunch of, so the one thing about state troopers is they spend you know, $100,000, $200,000 on each of these vehicles to armor them up and put all their special cop electronics and everything else, according to Scotty, the tool guy, I mean the car guy. But there's a Jeep, white Jeep. White and black is the only colors they really like. More of these specialized units. There's hundreds more if you look. Are you looking? There's a lot of them. And so what is this? What do they do with your money? Well, those vehicles usually only have one stormtrooper driving around on the roads of Texas, blowing your money. Blowing your money. What's going on here? This goddamn problem is here. Blowing your money. So it's Department of Public Safety. See, now it's pubic safety. All right, so yeah, lots of vehicles just sitting here. There's your Ford Tauruses. They put in all the special bells and whistles on these things. And the gasoline is what we need to get to. They're spending millions of dollars a year on gasoline while there's orphans that can't get care, while there's children with cancer that can't get care. Your government's just shitting out money because you let it. You don't really hold them accountable. You don't do this work. You need to come out here and see for yourself. We're up on the I don't know what you call it. I think it's a central DPS office. I don't know what to call it. What do you call this? But it's public access. So we're gonna do a little public access over here. I might have to go do B-roll later. But we're going to do public access here. No sidewalk. Yeah, this is a huge facility. It's like a square mile or so. There's more property than you have, but look at all these cars. Look at all these cars. And this delivery guy is delivering some more. He probably won't like being recorded doing his job, but people record me doing my job. The government's always, almost, not always, the government's often recorded by their employers, government agents. But look at all the cars. Did you see all the police cars? Wow. And these what do you call it? Tents that they built. So I did this live stream a couple month or so ago, and it was interfered with. It didn't come out because of this clan truck right over here. Let me show you this clan truck right over here. You see that clan truck right over there? You see the lightning bolt? That's a DPS vehicle. Yeah, brand new vehicles coming in here every day. Brand new Chevy Silverado, 4x4. Coming in. There's another tractor trailer full of cars coming in. Yeah, they're doing a lot. So here we are. They're fencing off the some of these buildings to keep the public out, but right now this is open access. So we're going to take a look here. I'm sure it'll be a problem for somebody, but it's the law, fortunately. Fortunately, the law still applies. So I want you to look at this clan dragon thing. Look at that. What does it say? Unmanned aircraft operations. Department of Public Safety. So there's their drone clan vehicle. All right, we're back. So this is a Ford Lightning. That's why they have the white lightning bolt, but it's a bad look. So that's what I wanted to check on. This is the Department of Public Safety's vehicle. And It's for their aircraft division, which is drones. We're talking about spy drones, but I just wanted you guys to see what that looks like. What your government spends its money on. And so he's got some kind of little tablet thing here. There it is, next to Parks and Wildlife. But let me get some more B-roll. I'll be right back, y'all. Let me get some more B-roll of this. Wow, that's all I can say is wow. So yeah, these are all employees and other whatevers. They got a lot of cameras out here, so obviously cameras are allowed since there's so many cameras. The government shouldn't have more rights than an actual person, but they let corporations have more rights than an actual person through Citizens United. So it's not equal. Things are not equal, just to let you know. We're gonna walk this block. Ooh, look at the storm. See the storm? Yeah, so this is a little sit-down area. If you sit down here very long, you'll be arrested, no doubt. They're putting up all these fences to hide the government. All of these normally open to the public kind of places are getting blocked off by fences. They put these temporary fences up while they're building the permanent fences. These little temporary fences aren't secure. Not even really. They just fall over. And they can be delinked. They're just linked up temporarily. It's anti-homeless fence basically. And there's their scaffolding all cinched up, so they're doing some above ground work. We've got all these bricks here, these concrete blocks. They're gonna do some kind of work. They're not just fixing the parking lot, y'all. They are putting in and installing permanent in the ground Mexican labor fencing. Just to let you know, the fire department, oh, what is that, Spa Glass? That place is gone. There was like a fire thing or EMS across the street. I think it's still over there. They're also fenced off with similar fencing. Here's all your eroding sand pile. Just fill sand. Not safe enough for children or pets. But see, they're building a facility right there. They're building a new facility, new building. Probably a memorial to fallen DPS officers, clan that died in the service of their masters. We got these guys. They don't like being watched. But yeah, so here's the sidewalk, public sidewalk that they just built. It comes up to a fence. You can't get in, and it's butted up next to the temporary fence, butted up next to this new fence. This is brand new also. There's a DPS officer there, giant statue, 9 foot tall, and it's he's praying behind the I can't show you, it's too tall. Look at this, look at this. They don't want anybody in here. Look at that. Tell me that's not vicious. Alright, so here's your there's your DPS officer statue, fallen statue with the flags above, and you're not allowed in there anymore. It's only for cops on a roid rage or whatever it is. Technically, this might look like a audit to some people, but I'm a member of the press, been a member of the press. Long before I was filming police, I was a member of the press. Write for a newspaper, and I film for myself. So I'm basically independent press at this, you know, for the most part. This is not the subject of most of what the Challenger newspaper would be interested in. They're more interested in like stories about kitty cats or whatever. This is real stuff over here. What's your government spending the money on? The challenger doesn't really care because they don't believe in accountability. There you go. Brand new lawn. Look at that lawn. What is that? Is that turf? It might be astroturf. It's all the same, but they've already got weeds in their beds. They just built this. This whole thing's only been built in the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. And they got this DPS officer shadow that's supposed to mean something. I mean, if you want to see what the Klan looks like in a different hat, I guess that's what that is. America, Texas, you can't go in. It's the main lobby over there. I don't know how you get to it. There's no way into the main lobby from here. It's the main lobby, it says on the door. Main lobby. Can you read that? No, probably not. Anyways, so you can't get in. I just want you to know your government doesn't want to be held accountable or transparent. Your government does not want to be seen at all. Your government wants to hide. They won't even tell you their names when they come to your door and they pull you over. They don't even want to tell you their names. They don't want to tell you what's going on. They tell you to contact public records or file a police complaint or file a lawsuit, and all of those, for the most part, are dead ends unless you know what you're doing. Especially open records. Open records is going to lie, especially in Austin, which is where I have my experience. City of Dallas, also Dallas Police Department, also. So yeah, it's everything's corrupt, and they're entrenching themselves in these gates. Yeah, these high-end fences with spiky spikes, flesh spikes, pikes. It's kind of like a pike. It's meant to like stab you and kill you if you try to go in. To rip your arm, rip your flesh. That's what it's meant for. But we're gonna walk around. I want you to see this. I have a little time on my hands, so I wanted to show you the facility. So that would be an entrance. It's not open. The other entrance is not open. Personally, I don't know how. I mean, it's open to the public, but there's no way in unless you're a government official and have special access. So I don't really know how. Yeah, I don't really know about that. Looks like there's more storms coming in. A little bit. We're at the tail end of a bigger storm up north, and we're at the southward tail end of this. Ain't much going on. So you can get up to these buildings, but they're all secure too. Building C, whatever. You can get up to them, but I'll bet you can't get in there unless you're an employee. It doesn't look like a public entrance. I don't know. So the CID, DPS CID, which every police agency has a CID apparently, which is Criminal Investigative Division or Department or whatever, CID. It means that they got detectives. I don't even actually know what it means, because all these cops are supposed to be doing this work. But yeah, it's what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's down here. We're heading that direction right now. We're gonna go past the statistics, you know, like where you get your birth certificates, and then we're gonna go by the driver's license office, a small driver's license office, and then we're gonna head into we're gonna go past their park where they have like a recreation area that's open to the public. Now it's fenced, and they're also putting this fencing around CID. They have an office called CID over here. And so as you see, there is no access to the public. You can't drive in here. It's all private. Another unmarked unit. This has got police cars everywhere. But these are the ones that are running, and someone's checked them out. And, you know, if you had the, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars, trillions of dollars that your state wastes on DPS, on gas, on these trucks to just sit around. If you had all that, what would you do with that money? What could you solve? Societal problems could you solve with tax money that's not wrongfully appropriated towards the police state, that's just there to crunch the lives of everyday Americans and make you go homeless, die, get beaten, get put in jail, lose your family, lose your car, lose your property, they can do civil asset forfeiture and take all your money and just take it out of your pocket and keep it for indefinitely, and they can take that money and fund and buy cars with it and use it on anything they want because of the way the laws are. They can literally steal and get away with it because they have all the resources to lie and control the situation. And there are resources. They're the resources from the people. We the people can't have anything. The economy is about to collapse. Your government's propped up and has assets everywhere that are wasted. Everywhere. So here's the driver's license office. So see, there's a secure fence right here. This is how it goes down. They're gonna, looks like they got some lighted things here, light things, and then you're gonna have to have a key to get into that door. So I don't know how people are gonna get in. Obviously, I'm not seeing how people are getting in. See, the government has a plan, but I don't think that they know what the hell they're doing. Push-ups. All right. Driver's license office. Everybody knows how ridiculously inefficient driver's license offices are. Department of Public Safety. North Austin driver's license building. It's tiny. We're about to go right by it. Services by appointment only. 6121 North Lamar. You make an appointment. This building was made by John Connolly, governor, which I know who that is. 1964. 1964 is what the plaque says. Got Whataburger over there. They also work with the police to get discounts for police. Well, here's your little place. At least the public can get in this building. Employee parking only. Right here. So this was a field that anyone could go to from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Oh, it's practicing for cars. I'm sorry, that's for that parking lot. It's this one. So they got this magic fence here while they put up their other fence, so they don't really need it. They're just waiting for the contractor, the rental company, to come take their little fence. But they've got their big fence up. It's really not very well put together. It's kind of like a Lego piece of junk. It's all just like roll form. It looks like a lot of roll form. I don't even know if it's metal. Here, let me check if it's metal. It is. It's steel, but it's like roll form steel. It's not aluminum. But so this, where these pigeons are, see those pigeons? You can't go there no more. It was a field for calisthenics and different stuff. It was open to the public. It should have been on my live stream a couple months ago when I was here, but it has now been blocked off to the public since my live stream. The government does not want you to access anything, just to let you know. They do not want you accessing anything. They've got their rinky-dink ass fence here. Rinky-dink. Oh, there's DPS working out right there. Doing pull-ups. do with Pulla. He's just hanging. He's stretching. You got DPS. All sorts of activity going on. Yeah. DPS buses that haul DPS stormtroopers all over anywhere in Austin and anywhere in Texas. They can come raid your place. You raid it for no reason. You got too many people that speak Spanish, you're getting raided. You got a little 4-year-old that's got brown skin with cancer, raided. You know, and Colorado Springs just raided what, 100 and something, 150 people, and arrested all of them at a club, at a Tejano club. So yeah, that's just the beginning, y'all. Just the beginning. And so here's an entrance to the right here. You can go in there, but they'll probably get mad. All visitors park. It's called All Visitors Park. Oh no, All Visitors Park in front of buildings. Closed circuit, no animals allowed except for seeing eye dogs. Well, the problem with that is everybody's an animal. I don't know if you noticed, you might sometimes scratch, fart, meow, bark, howl at the moon. You know, everyone's an animal. Sorry. So it's not very accurate zoologically. Yeah. So here's this criminal law enforcement, or CID building E, 6100 Guadalupe. Anyways, and what's going on here is we got a bunch of employees, but they've got this, they're putting in a gate here. This is where the gate's about to be. They don't want nobody in here. It's just for the cops. They got all this building, all this property, at least a 1 square mile full of buildings. And they need to fence themselves in from you. They feel that they need more security, more privacy. But they're not worried about the people's security and the people's privacy. The government's only interested in its own power, its own safety, its own rights. The government has created a monster. The people have created a monster when we just let the government do whatever they want. There's some of the Klan right there. You see them? That's why they don't want you in there, because they got their little Klan hats on. Look at that goon right there. It's like the mafia. It's like the redneck mafia. Those are pretty. It's a wildflower. Yeah, they don't want you in there. But like a Hyundai could run into that little bitty fence and break it. The fence is not, it's all show. It's a lot of money. I'm sure it costs them millions of dollars to put a square mile full of fencing, but it's not secure. It's not even remotely secure. There's an opportunity for some graffiti right there. That's ACAB, whatever. And we're done. So they don't own all the next block. There's an elementary school, but they own most of the property over here. And this is just one of their facilities. TxDOT, the state has multiple facilities and buildings. They own a lot of buildings in Austin, a lot. But yeah, they're scared. they're just tearing this crap up. Construction. What's your function? To hide the police from the public. So, okay, I'll take it back. It looks like a Klan lightning bolt, but it's a Fort Lightning, which they shouldn't be buying. They don't need that. Yeah, so they still know. Everybody knows what it is. Ford was a Nazi. Henry Ford gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to Adolf Hitler to write his first book, the book that started the Holocaust, called Mein Kampf. Or I think that's My Story. I forget what that is in English, but yeah. So Ford funded them. Ford funded Nazis. Ford was a Nazi. So, you know, it's not surprising that the DPS likes white lightning bolts on their vehicles. We've got lightning bolts on APD officers' arms, on their own body cam, on their forearm. Other Nazi symbols have been seen. We know that the FBI has said for the last 50 plus years that they're tearing this road up, so you can't come in here. They're tearing this road up so that they can put in all that fencing and monitoring and whatever. Anyhow, so what was I saying? So for the last 50 years, the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist organization, and the Nazis in America, not just in Texas, but in America, they have been infiltrating law enforcement and government places for 50 years, and that has been documented in the news and all that. So this over here again is DPS from here on back. So these semis are DPS, semi-trucks, that boat, the DPS, they take it out on lakes and stuff. I don't know why they need all this shit. Probably works here. So this is the property line. And here's the stakes. They're gonna put a fence up around here too. They're gonna put a fence around this whole area. That's the gas line markers right there. The green for gas, natural gas. But so this is the property line. The problem is this is all public property. Keeping the public off of public property is a problem. So there's asset management, mail, print, and graphic services for DPS. This is their division headquarters, it says. Building G Annex. You can't really get in here very easily. The main entrances are closed. Building Q. There's a building G Annex, that's the big one. Yeah, so, I mean, some people might say I'm doing the same work as an auditor, but I say that I'm doing, there's your Tesla, all that. Well, I say that I'm doing investigative journalism and that I'm doing transparency work. You can call it whatever you want. I'm not really pushing too many boundaries. I'm not dressed in black. I'm not carrying a firearm. I'm not all sketched out. There's your thin blue line, fear this sticker, your license plates, all that. But there's someone pulled up in the state trooper vehicles. So these are I don't know what these other buildings are. There's a lot of DPS out here. lot. Well, there's a training unit right there. The DPS training unit buildings, both those buildings. So they train them on how to be planned. Look at this guy all decked out. There's a bunch of them over there. Building 1 here. This is a little bit more modern. Let's see what we got over there. And then try to like pretend it's lawful. So you'll see them decked out in these kind of vehicles. They got a lot of extra lights on them. That's an undercover. These are not undercover. These are actual working DPS units right here that are in motions. They have lights on. A little windy. Might rain, might not rain. Nobody knows. We're at the tail end of it, like I said. There's a vehicle not exempt with the lights. So you'll see these lights in the front. I don't know if you can see those, but yeah, you'll see those lights in the front and all that. So these are mostly, so you got more trailers here. Some challenge, Texas challenge, it says. Some kind of thing they do. Maybe it's dirt bikes, who knows. And then DPS, they're in motion. They got the new trucks, K9, that's a K9 truck. Alright, they're in motion. Lots of DPS in motion over here, like a hornet's nest. With all the hornets are disturbed now. Another K9 unit. There's no sidewalk. They're not worried about sidewalks over here. They're just worried about putting up a big ass fence. So all those vehicles over there are damaged, wrecked, seized, whatever they are. Like that's where the first place I filmed was. This is the back, not the south part. This is the north part. I started from the south. Sorry if I get y'all mixed up. I started from the south. We're heading south now. So we just went around the north. Now we're coming through the middle of their properties. Down this road here. I forget what the name of the road is. So just think about what you would do with $1 trillion if you were going to do a Doge on Texas. So there's supposed to be a Doge for Texas. Department of Efficiency. Texas Department of Efficiency. Something like that. So what would you do if you cut DPS, all these vehicles, all this stuff, City of Granger here. So, Granger. It sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is. City of Granger. So say that you had $1 trillion. What could you do with $1 trillion for society that would be better than what the government's doing with DPS? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. As the economy collapses, ask yourself, is it time to liquidate the police departments? Is it time to liquidate their assets, sell them on the free market, recoup the funds, recoup all our money, and then spend our money as a group, or just dividend it? If you had $1 trillion, you could give everybody in the United States, I don't know, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. I don't know. I'm not that good at the math off the top of my head. We go. That's gate number 4 here. It says they got the chicken wire too. They got chicken wire on here, plastic chicken wire. I don't know why they need that. But so yeah, here's all the vehicles that are just sitting here rotting, wasting away. There's more. See how the hood's up? more ATVs, cars, trucks, SUVs, just everything. Here's one of their storage boxes. You know what's in there? Look at this sidewalk. I want you to look at this sidewalk. Look at this sidewalk. The state doesn't have money to fix this sidewalk 50 years old. They don't have money so that people can walk down the street, and they have money to keep people out. Ugh. Yeah, that's what they got. Got money for all that. This fence over here has been here for a minute. And so is that one. And this doesn't have as spiky of spikes. And it's built different. This is a different design fence. It looks similar, but it's different. It's powder coated black to match the other side, but the spikes are different. The posts are different. I mean, not the posts, everything's different. What do you call it? The sections are different. You got that. Exit only, entrance on Koenig Lane. Exit only. Moving gate can cause, there's number 3. Moving gate can cause injury or death, I think it said. Injury or death. Let's see if this Yahoo wants to say something. Oh, there's response operations right there. Response operations. I'm not sure. Surplus vehicle sales. Oh, you can come buy them over here. All right, they're already taking my advice. Lots of vehicles. Each one of these vehicles has over $100,000 into it, and yeah. And that doesn't include the Ford Lightning. Ford Lightning's probably got $300,000 of crap in it. What they like to do is they like to put a top on the back, like a hard top on the back, and make it lift up with hydraulics, where they put all these weapons. I was talking to a guy from one of the rental companies a while back. He said, yeah, I saw all their weapons. Just guns after guns after guns. They make Tackleberry look like he's safe. But yeah, here's response operations. Now we're on the east side of the road here. Guadalupe. I should have known that. There's a guy right there. I guess they sell these cars. I'm not aware of any sales, but these are all wrecked by state troopers. Over here it looks like. They're not too bad, but you know, they tear them up because it's not their property. They treat it like it's stolen. They drive it like it's stolen. So there's your tour of Texas DPS district, Austin district, one of the facilities. There's another one in Waco, an hour up the road. They're all over the place. They're across the state. They're backed all the way up into each other. They're backed all the way up into each other. No light between them, because hey, why not? Not their vehicles. It's yours. So they tore up all these vehicles, or they broke down, and now they're selling to the public. All right, y'all. Enjoy your fun. I'll talk to you later. I hope it all works out. I got news for you. We're headed towards some bad times, and the police are going to be integral in the story of how safe or not safe you're going to be real soon. I'm talking martial law. The president signed an edict today, recently, that police officers can kill you without any being charged, and he passed another edict saying that if you shoot a cop, you're going to be executed. All right, y'all have fun. Good luck with that. Good times.